And that night I came home, King of Arundel. King Ragnar said. The king's candle cast flickering shadows on his face as he told his story to his young daughters, Anna and Elsa. The girls were huddled together on Elsa's bed with their mother, Queen Iduna, listening to every word their father said, their eyes wide and their mouths hanging open. Their mother drew them close to her, all three of them gathered under a comforting weight of her burgundy scarf. Wow, Papa, that was epic, Anna said, collapsing on the bed as she pictured everything that had happened. Whoever saved you, I love them. The king smiled at his little girl. I wish I knew who it was. Were the new soldiers really magical? Elsa wondered aloud. She didn't want to be anything like them. She couldn't imagine hurting her friends. Like me? No, King Ragnar assured her. They were not magical. They just enjoyed the magic of the forest. What happened to the spirits? What's in the forest now? Elsa wondered if anyone else had made it out after the spirits had gotten angry and turned on everyone. I don't know, King Ragnar replied. The mist still stands. No one can get in, and no one has come out since. Queen Iduna locked eyes with her husband, warning him to be careful with his words. She wanted to make sure the daughters didn't feel scared. So we're safe, she said. Yes, King Ragnar agreed, but the forest could wake again, and we must be prepared, whatever danger it might bring. Queen Iduna watched a flood of worry wash over Elsa's face, her father's words, and she intervened. On that note, how about we say goodnight to your father? She said. Both girls were much too young to think about fighting of any kind, especially when she was trying to get them to sleep. King Ragnar stood on his face held an apology for his wife. But I have still so many questions, Anna said, pouting as her father kissed Elsa on the forehead. Save them for another night, Anna, he insisted. Arg, she said in frustration. You know I don't have that kind of patience. She looked pointedly at Elsa, who nodded, clearly agreeing with Anna about her lack of patience. Anna closed her mouth tight and scrunched her face. Her father kissed her on the forehead, knowing that was her vision of trying. Then he walked out of the room. As soon as the door shut, Anna started in with her questions again. Why did the North soldier attack us anyway? She asked her mother. Who attacks people who give them gifts? Do you think the forest will wake again? What will spirits think of my magic? Elsa asked, glancing up at her mother. A soft look came across Idunna's face as her own memory from the past fled through her mind. I wish I had the answers. Alas, only Adohalan knows. Ado who what? Anna asked. Queen Iduna laughed as she smiled at the upturned face of her youngest daughter. When I was little, my mother would sing a song about a special river called Adohalan, which was said to hold the answers about the past. She said, about what we are part of. The sisters looked at each other. Then two pairs of big blue eyes stared up at the queen. Will you sing for us, please? Elsa asked. Iduna looked toward the door, debating whether she should tumor her daughters. After deciding there was no harm letting the girls hear the song, she nodded to them. Okay, cuddle close, scooch in, she said, pulling Elsa and Anna to her, tucking them all under her scarf. Queen Iduna's voice was low as it sang the lullaby her mother had sung to her. It was the sound of love in the girl's ears, and Anna was fast asleep Even before the song was done, Queen picked Anna up gently, cuddling her as she carried her across the room. She placed Anna softly on her own bed and pulled up the covers, tucking her in tight. Queen Iduna returned to Elsa just as she finished the song. "Now sleep, my little snow," she said, kissing both of Elsa's hands. The Queen fluffed Elsa's pillows, stroked her daughter's long hair, and picked up the candle that flickered on the bedside table. "Mother," Elsa asked the Queen, as the Queen touched the door of the room, "do you think Ahtohallan knows why I have magical power?" Mother didn't answer immediately. She thought carefully before she spoke. "If Ahtohallan is out there," she said finally, "I imagine it knows that, and much more." Elsa leaned heavily into the pillow, thinking someone should really try to find it. Queen Iduna's smile was bittersweet as she stepped into the hallway and closed the door behind her. With the echo in her mother's lullaby in her ears, Elsa drifted off to sleep. She dreamed about finding Ahtohallan and learning the answer to every question she'd ever had, and the answer to some of her sister's questions too. All of Arendelle was silent. The night was still, even in the castle, until Anna tiptoed across the rugs of her bedroom floor. It took the 5-year-old more than one try to pull herself onto her sister's bed. But when she has made it, she crawled over and shook Elsa's shoulder. "Elsa," Anna said what she thought was a whisper, but what was really the furthest thing from one. "Psst! Elsa, wake up, wake up, wake up!" Elsa hated to be wakened. It made her grumpy. "Anna," she protested, turning her back on her sister and tugging on her. Tugging her covers up under her chin. "Go back to sleep." "I just can't," Anna complained, flopping like a young child who hadn't gotten her way. And you refused to give up. "The sky's awake, so I'm awake, so we have to play." Anna looked out at the lights, the window at the dancing greens and blues of the northern lights that dominated the night sky. Then she looked back at her sister, who had buried herself under the covers. She poked Elsa. She patted her. She even tried to pull her blankets off. "If I agree to play with you for a little bit, will you let me sleep as long as I want when we're done?" asked Elsa's muffled voice from beneath the blankets. "Yes," Anna agreed, enthusiastically nodding. Even with Anna tugging at her, Elsa was a reluctant partner. She rubbed her hands and dragged her feet as her sister pulled her to the great hall. And then her ice magic came out, and a new chapter began for them.